Hello everyone and welcome to another Steam match of the Mordheim Summer Tournament organized by Markuskein. I'm Karond and we will be looking at Group 6 today between Poker and Markuskein. And this is the second recording I do because both of the players actually desynced during the first game early on. As you can see, both Poker and Markuskein are entering this tournament with this match, and it will be a very interesting match, and we can probably expect it to be the actual group final. This is because both of the players are pretty good and they have good warbands, and that's especially so considering the opposition, who doesn't really have that. Markuskein has played in this format before, the level 10 format, once. That was the last tournament where he reached the final, finishing in second place. Poker, meanwhile, is entering this format for the very first time, having played very few multiplayer games, but I do think that he will reach at least the quarterfinal. It's always funny with these kind of predictions. If you remember the last game, where we had Faro 85 against Slavier, Faro 85 is sort of a protege for Markuskein, and Markuskein predicted that he will reach pretty far, and he surprised us all with his win against Slavier. And in the last tournament, Happy did a similar prediction with Clyde, saying that he would reach very far and probably win the tournament, but that turned out to really not be the case, as Clyde went out really early on in the playoffs. And for my prediction in this tournament, I actually predict that Poker will reach pretty far. I would say a quarterfinal. I don't think he might reach more than that, but that would be enough to surprise a lot of people and make him probably the best newcomer here. He has a lot to live up to get to that stage, since Far 85 beat Slavier. But we will see, and we have all of our hopes that this will be a good match. Poker will be playing as the Skaven, while Markuskein will be fielding the Undead as the tournament's only Undead warband. So that's interesting to see. As we said, the first game was desynced, and I don't know if they are going to restart on the exact same map and an exact same kind of mission, but they might or they might not. If so, we went to the bridge, but we'll see if that happens. I think they are ready to start pretty soon here, so we'll just quickly go over what's at stake. This is the bracket group 6. In the first game, Tricky faced Leedsbach, winning 9-0. It wasn't really a win with 9-0 because Leedsbach quitted very early in the game, and so all of his units died, giving Tricky a 9-0 victory. Yet still, the winner here will face Tricky in a winners match on who gets through as number 1, while the loser will take on Leedsbach, who probably has the worst warband in this tournament, seeing as he fielded lots of level 7 and level 8s, which is far below what everyone else is fielding in this tournament. So whoever wins here will probably win this group, and whoever loses here is probably going to end up at second place. So it's a really interesting game, and I don't think we need to say much more. We will talk a lot during this game. Markuskein is a little bit of a slow player, so I think we have a lot of time on our hands. We will wish both players good luck, and we hope this will be an interesting game for everyone to watch. Let's see what happens. So they have restarted the game here, and it seems like they picked an entirely new map and an entirely new deployment. So they went for a complete random again instead of restarting under the positions that they have. And I can say that I don't think that the earlier game actually had much of a conclusion in mind here. It was sort of Rivals in the Ruins kind of feel to it. It would start at the opposite ends of the map, and Markuskein had got off to a single shot and a single spell doing a lot of damage, but that was everything, and Poker was still about to move almost all of his warbands, repaying in kind. So I don't think it has any bearing on this, and we seem to be heading into a Scavengers map here, and I hope that's good. As you know, the Scavengers, one warband is called exploring buildings, while the other deploys tightly around its wagon. And judging from the deployment here, it seems like it is Markuskein that gets to deploy in the buildings. Holbrook is probably all the way around this wagon, and this is pretty much like rivals in the ruins actually, because they are pretty far from each other, and that means that the much greater initiative of Holbrook's Skaven warband, which is a weird mix of possessed and Skaven units, half roughly, will be focusing on a bit more range for the engage here. Markuskein is fielding 2 necromancers, supporting his 4 zombies, a single ghoul, a Dreg archer, which has 30% critical hit chance, a vampire thrall, and a vampire leader. And if you watched the final of the last tournament, where we recorded Markuskein's game, you will notice that this is the exact same setup he used that time. He has new Hello names. Everyone, welcome to another Steam match of the Mordheim Summit Tournament organized by Markuskein. I am Karond, and today we'll be looking at group number 6. Here we go for our first turn. Holbrook naturally starts. As you can see, he has pretty much the entire initiative ladder going for him. But he seems to have a... We are seeing him on the bridge there. Maybe he's closer than we expected. We can only wait to see until we get to see him in the map, of course. I do feel that for the Skaven and Undead in this matchup, the Skaven's movement tends to be a little bit wasted, because if there's one single kind of enemy that the Skaven really don't want to face, it's the Undead, because the 9 movement zombies completely neuters any kind of advantage the Skaven have with speed. And it's also true that the Undead has fear and terror to their advantage, and because they are also pretty much melee centric most of the time, tend to produce a lot of all alone checks, which is all in not really in Skaven's favor. However, Holbrook has watched the final, no doubt, and since Markuskein is bringing the exact same warband, making him a little bit predictable, I'm sure that Holbrook has prepared for this specific warband with everything that he has. So we can probably expend lots of Pendants of Courage and Axes of Perforation, so that would be the ideal setup, and we will see if he is bringing something like that. He is blocking the bridge, that's everything we have seen so far of Holbrook. You don't really see the chat here, but Markuskein was offering his apologies for not having customized his new vampire thrall in a red color like his leader. So there you go, now you know it, and do with it what you want. Call of Vanal is the spell that boosts the movement speed of the zombies and also gives them a lot of armor, and we saw in the earlier game that you haven't seen yet, or will ever see, that 2 of his zombies have 30% armor from the start, which means that they have shields of fire, and 2 of them do not, so he has switched it up a little bit there, and we would expect them to be having the mark of shielding plus 12% melee resistance. So maybe he has redone 2 of his zombies to be more melee resistance kind of zombies, which they will always be mediocre at, or and the other 2 he has focused on the armor absorption style, which they are pretty good at. We also know that Holbrook has a lot of double axes of perforation on a few Dark Souls, and he has a mutant specifically designed to face this warband, which seems to have 2 axes, or an axe and executioner, or what's the other name? Destroyer, imitation, which is extremely good actually, because if I learned anything facing Markuskein's warband in the final of the last tournament, which was exactly this warband, he relies entirely upon Web of Steel. He has almost no dodge, only on the cool, and absolutely no melee resistance to speak of. So having something that bypasses parry and does bypass a lot of armor is going to be really good for him. We should take a little bit of note of the morale here. We are seeing this match from Markuskein's perspective, as you have no doubt figured out by now. Markuskein is the blue bar in the top left corner. He has 100 morale and he will rout when he reaches 40, or he will take his first rout test then. If Markuskein hasn't rebuilt his main leader too much, then we know that he has 12 leadership because he had that final of last year. And that's not too much, that gives you only 48% chance to pass round test. It's leadership times 4. Since we know that losing a leader gives you minus 26 morale, losing a hero gives you minus 22 morale, and losing a henchman gives you minus 90 morale, it means that Markuskein can only lose 3 units, or 4 units if the first 3 are henchmen, but it won't be because the zombies don't take a morale penalty, so 3 units that are non-zombies, and he will take his first round test, and it will be very dicey to succeed in that. While Horpoker meanwhile has fantastic morale. That's at least 6, probably 7 guys lost before he has to take a round test. And we know that he's fielding a sorcerer leader, and sorcerer leaders tend to have 19 leadership, which is their maximum. And if he does have that, he will have a 78% chance to pass any round test, so he will be extremely resilient. And that means that Horpoker will gladly enter into a bloodbath here, trading character for another character, because he can afford that much more than Markuskein can, especially when it comes to units that aren't zombies. Bridge connected to warbands, but if it weren't for the bridge, Markuskein would have all of the high ground here. Because there's as you can see from the Necromancer's viewpoint here, there's stairs moving up here, and besides that you always have to jump down or climb up to get here. Besides the bridge, of course. The bridge is gonna serve as a bottleneck, but I don't think that Horpoker will really take the bottleneck. Like, a bottleneck is good if there are lots of characters on it, because while Markuskein does have 2 necromancers, I don't think that he has the spell Curse of Doom, or whatever it's called, the area spell that doesn't have any curse chance increased on it, and it does respectable damage in a wide area. But on a bridge like this, it's a perfect setup to face Warp Lightning. Warp Lightning is so good in those situations because they produce quite a bit of respectable damage in a quite wide area, and they produce warp effects, which Markuskein is not immune to. Now that they're immune to so many things, but not warp effects. Probably moving up the bridge and taking a few pot shots at that little warp guard before moving back would be my guess. I don't know why he has placed the warp guard there. He's only gonna take damage for it. Ferrous Iron Maw takes 44 damage. And then one more at least. I think that's really unnecessary by Markuskein. That's really unnecessary. He's actually sacrificing 60 damage on his hero to produce 44 damage on a henchman. Of course he heals 16 wounds, so it's actually losing 46 wounds to produce 44 wounds on a henchman. That's not a good trade. Heroes are worth much more than henchmen, and even so, even if you discount that, it's actually taking a tiny bit more damage than he is producing. Not good at all. Sure, he can heal when he casts a spell, but just taking the damage is not worth it. This will also be an interesting, if we are indeed right, that this is a very important game for how the group ends, with the winner here probably ending up first and the loser ending up second. That is a very interesting game, because the second place person here is going to face Happy in round of 16. That's already been decided. Happy, who won his group. Getting into another shot here. Oh, he's got a stun on. If I would Markuskein, I would probably move up there with a zombie to finish that workout off and immediately take a lead here. Don't know what Holbroker was thinking here. He was probably scouting a bit of his units, but that's really unnecessary. If this was the first game they had against each other, yes, then maybe. But they actually desynced earlier, and if both of them know exactly what kind of units the opponent fields. So why he would go out up there for a scouting thing and get exposed, I have no idea. 11 damage on the zombie, you can take 15 maximum from that distance. But this is a good ambush spot with 9 movement, preparing for if he wants to try and climb up there, make a surprise attack. And what is this zombie guarding? Will he be guarding the... if he can go up from under there, he's gonna guard that entrance as well, keeping the high ground. Making as many bottlenecks as possible. Don't forget that there's stairs up here as well on the side. But with this kind of scouting that Markuskein is doing, he is probably... yeah, well aware of that. I think that his tactic here is to move down with the zombies, because then Holpoke will be likely to try and engage them, because they will be in his way, and then he can shoot magic and arrows from the higher position down into the mines. Remember, these are extremely tanky zombies, even the ones that doesn't have a lot of armor. Well, all of them have 50% or 60% armor, and then they have HP that are around 400, except for Rob here, but Rob is going towards the kill. Going for a mighty charge, I think. Yeah, I think he has the mighty charge now. No, he doesn't. Alright. That's a regular charge, but that should be enough to kill off these ones. Yeah, definitely. And it seems like Markuskein is taking first blood. Well done. Taking both of his consumables. This tournament is, after all, you have 2 consumables on you. For each character, that is. Zombies though can't use those consumables, but it's always good to pick them up so that Holbroker can pick them up. Moving down with another zombie. Now all of his zombies except the one on the bridge is down there, waiting for Holbroker to get even closer. And since Holbroker is down 1 henchman now, he really should try and be patient. Yes, he has 2 necromancers and a dreg with a short bow, but Holbroker might still have pretty good range himself, and he could just do a little bit of kiting. Back and forth and back and forth. Especially if he has improved range for a sorcerer. He needs to be careful doing that because he might end up blocking one of his own characters. Pretty good here, hiding the vampire thrall. Or moving out in the open. I don't know why you would do that, but right, hiding here in the center here, but Holpoker should have an idea of where that vampire thrall is now. And here comes the leader, Cold Hands. Moving up for support on the bridge, no. Moving away from the bridge. Or not. I really don't get why Holpoker would move one single unit over the bridge. Was he hoping to maybe get the flag or something? It's possible. Markuskein, I don't like this move at all. I really don't like it. Yes, there we see another warp guard. If Holpoker has other units nearby here, it's gonna be really dangerous for Markuskein to be that close, and he realizes that and pulls back behind zombie. And then proceeds to go into ambush mode, so
a new round has started.
That he can be bottlenecked. I think that the vampire might actually lose to Holpoker's mutant here, doing a lot more damage, so he should be a little bit careful. Let's see. Is Holpoker wanting to go up on the bridge again? Putting down yet another single claret into that position. Yeah, he's rethinking it. One thing that's new with this tournament is the turn timer, which has always been 90 seconds for pretty much every tournament, and for this tournament it's 105 seconds. That certainly benefits Markuskein a little bit because he's a slow player, but it does also benefit two specific kind of characters most of all, Necromancers and Doom Weavers. And Necromancers are 2 in number here for Markuskein, and that's because of their passive. You basically find a bag and a wordstone, and you put down the wordstone in the bag and you pick it up, you activate the passive, you get a spell cast for 1 red pill less and less curse chance, and then after you cast the spell, the passive goes away, so you drop down the wordstone into the bag again, and then you pick it up and you cast another spell. And you do that over and over and over and over again, and that takes time, but it is very cost efficient and very much a min-maxing thing. And the Doom Weavers, of course, they can do something a little bit similar with maxing out their curses, simply because they can get spells that are cast for free or for very low cost using Idle Descent, and in combination with something like quick casting. And quick casting plus Idle Descent means that your spells will cost basically free if they cost 2 from the beginning. and that's Bond of Ruin, for example, so he can just spam that spell forever and ever and ever, using more and more curses, and they all stack with each other and can basically ruin characters around them. And that also takes a lot of time. So those two characters benefit immensely from this increased turn time. Everyone else, not so much. We see one Dark Soul and the Doomweaver. Doomweaver can work as a ranged unit similar to Necromancers if he wants to. Spiteful Manifestation for one is an area spell. Then you have that blood spell as well, doing damage and then doing secondary damage the next turn. Gargaros, he's a mutant with dual axes or one of the an axe and the Executioner or Destroyer. We didn't actually get it seen clearly in the last synced game. It is an advantage to Markuskein so far, and the whole book seems to be gathering his entire Roman in one place. But do remember that Mordheim is all about the morale, and if the whole poker can try and avoid the zombies a little bit and produce damage and kills on other characters, he might still win this. A black Skaven. So we know that he has a black Skaven and Globadier, we know that from the last game, and a Doomweaver, and a mutant. That's his hero composition right there. And that means that Holpoker is even more melee-centric here than Markuskein is, because we know he has 3 warp cards, or had 3 warp cards, and has 2 left, and 2 Dark Souls. Plus, of course, his Sorcerer Leader. So that means the Sorcerer Leader and the Doomweaver can do a little bit ranged, and no one else. Ah, yeah, of course the Globadier can. Globadier can, yeah, of course. Let's see what he does there. It's always good putting damage on any unit that isn't a Necromancer, because the Undead really can't heal. All of their henchmen can't use consumables, they can't heal that way. And while Markuskein might have healing consumables on some of his characters, they don't last forever, so putting any kind of damage on a non-Necromancer is a pretty good choice. And I really hope that he moved away with the Globadier there, because otherwise this Globadier is gonna die from a speedy zombie, probably a zombie scout going after and searching for the Globadier, and then he's going after it with his vampire leader. And that means even less good choices from Holpoker here. So that warp guard was basically a tank, he had basically no strength at all, to 30 to 41 damage. So maybe his other 2 warp guards are pretty similar. That doesn't decrease the speed, and it's actually a pretty useless spell, because I don't think he actually... If you look at the Pyro web space page where you can design all the characters, you know that Call of Vanal is a little bit has a mistypo in it, and it is that Call of Vanal is set to do plus 10 initiative for the non-master version, plus 10 initiative for the master version, but it's actually plus 20 initiative for the master version if you cast it on ghouls or one of the vampires. But we know that the vampire of Markuskein has pretty low initiative, and I don't think plus 20 initiative is gonna bring him up to anything before any of Holpoker's units, which means he's basically a wasted choice there. So we really don't know why he did that. Yeah, I mean, Call of Final lasts a little while, and yes, it's what's the secondary effect? It's dodge, right? Yeah, and Markuskein is entirely reliant on Web of Steel. The only exception to that rule is his ghoul, who uses dodge. Going to go do a little bit of skirmishing here. He will probably move back up there after he casts a few spells, I think. Same thing here. What kind of initiative does the Vampire Thrall have? She's the second last one, right? More damage and a little bit of recovery from our Adrenaline Rush Necromancer. More damage. 8% curse chance. Let's see if that comes into effect. It really shouldn't, but who knows. Yeah, he succeeded on that. Adrenaline Rush again. Getting a little bit of a cheaper spell. He might target another character now. No, because he saw another character now, a Dark Soul, I think. Yeah. Moving beyond the zombie shield wall here. So that warp card is also almost dead, having taken roughly 190-200 damage. And here comes the next one. Can he reach him though? I don't think so. He's gonna have to go into Overwatch. But a Dreg Archer with well, it's a decent critical hit chance. It could stun something, and then that unit is absolutely toast. Going for a higher precision, maybe. I don't know what he's doing. He's just moving back and forth. Going up there into... That's... I don't like this. That means he is extremely vulnerable. Any unit that gets up there is gonna get him stuck there for life. Yeah, if he's lucky he might stun something, but that's gonna be really bad. If Allbroker sees it, of course. Very good melee resistance from this warp guard. I can't say the same for Markuskein, but he is not being hit there at least. The odds definitely favor Hullpoker's little guy here. Will he use Adrenaline Rush to take a little bit more damage? I feel that's probably not worth it. It's better to go into parry stance and up for a parry attack. Yeah, it's a good choice. I would be careful though. That zombie going into the parry stance there, so the Dark Soul behind him, he might have Attract and Lure. That's a good position to Attract and Lure. There's no way Attract and Lure is... Well, there is probably some way because Attract and Lure is a bit buggy. But if he goes into there with Attract and Lure, he can get double the attacks off and really put a lot of damage onto that zombie. Of course, Markuskein don't really care about the zombies. He has to use them as meat shields anyway. Sneaky, sneaky zombie. Wow, that sneaky zombie is in for a big surprise here. Well, he basically wasted that guy. Didn't Hole Poker start with everything next to his wagon? It seems a little bit... Because we clearly did see Markuskein having his units spread out to the building around his wagon. So it should be around the wagon for Hole Poker, and I don't know why he has 3 units so far behind everyone else then. You should really move inside Markuskein, you don't want to be surrounded and killed fast. Move inside into the door so you can only get 1 character in there, right? Or don't! I don't know what he's doing, but he only has 14 seconds more on him. Thing is it worth to send someone after that zombie? I actually... I don't think it is. Yes, that zombie will go for the wagon, but he will be movement 5 in the next turn, and just gather all of you warband for Hole Poker. I think that's his best choice. He's behind a little bit there, so he needs to do something. Wow, he's really using his movement here to get the trapping units. He might even reach the mutant there, but he seems to want to support his other zombie here. Not hitting here. Remember that Hole Poker has a lot of characters. Well, everyone except 3, which makes it 4 more units nearby. Seems to be about average. He hit and miss about 50% of his attacks against that rope guard. Yeah, they are pretty tanky, those zombies though. So if Hole Poker goes in there, he might not kill all of them, and if he doesn't, then all of the range of Markuskein will come into action. Probably pick apart something, a hero most likely of Hole Poker, and then he's even further behind, and all he's gained is a few zombie beat shields. If that's even going to happen here. That sport card might actually, with some bad luck, die. Why are you doing this? Go on the left side. Go on the left side. Oh right, or just charge that guy. Yeah, that could be a good choice here. Ah, that was too bad. He seemed easy to hit. Very bad. Ah, that was unlucky from Hole Poker as well. So evens out. All right. Markuskein seems to want that fight. I don't know. I really don't like that Dreg. Dreg seems exposed. If he sends a fast unit out there, I'm sure Hole Poker has seen this from the minimap. He knows where he is, and he knows that he will be trapped. And the only thing that can save that trapped Dreg, if he ggets trapped, is the Necromancer's firing loads of magic into whoever his assailant would be. But maybe Hole Poker will just take the bait here and just go after the zombies just like Markuskein wants him to. Yeah, that's gonna be goodbye for this little warp card. That's gonna be 2-0 to Markuskein so far. Bringing that hit chance up quite a bit here, 65%. Let's see if he hits. Yep. 4 attacks. Missed. It's good if he misses as many as possible for Hole Poker, obviously, because he wants to use up his attacks. What will The vampire is now ready to be picked apart if Hopoki can do it. Will he focus on the important... that is the thing here. The vampire seems to be... What is he doing? Is he moving up? Moving down? Yeah, moving down. Trying to be protected. He knows very well that he can't lose anything that is not something. It's very precarious for him. And this little side thing here. Will the vampire support? No, the vampire will not support the zombie. And I think that's probably a good choice. Otherwise it would be tempting to stay behind and finish those two guys off. And Markuskein probably doesn't want that. I don't think he has good leadership on his heroes. I know for a fact that Drag doesn't. It has one leadership. It had last tournament anyway.
A new round has started.
Okay, let's see what Hopoki can do. He really needs to pull some things off here. And he needs to be very, very smart in whatever choices he does now. And he seems to be indecisive. Ambushing? Why is he ambushing right there? Not using anything. I don't know why he does it. Because if Markuskein doesn't even go there, then it's a really waste. Let's not talk about that. Let's see if he has a good strategy here instead. Lots of damage units coming in. What will the Doomweaver do here? Ah, that's good. That dispels all... Oh wow, that's unlucky. That's so unlucky. But it does dispel all of the Call of Vandals on those two zombies. He only got two of them. And then he got Overload, which means he has no more red OP left, so... that really sucked for him, but the spells are good, and if he moves in with the other zombie, if Markuskein's unaware of what actually Idol Change does to his zombies, then he might lose that too, especially if he comes in for support. So what are you doing? Engage a zombie or something? You know that you're gonna be... You should engage the front zombie, the one who is actually inside of that. And he did get a critical hit from that Overwatch. 21% chance success rate, and he made it. The stun resistance, look at that, 100. Wait! Is he? No, he's scouting. I think, yeah, he's scouting. But he saw the drag and he saw how exposed it is. Can he send a unit up there to take it down? Time is running out. Hopoki seems to be almost as slow in his decision making as Markuskein is. Good choice here with the talisman, because he knows he will face a lot of magic, and he's tying up the... Here we go. What will this unit do? Yeah, he will go... This is his high damage unit, he's going straight up for the drag. And that seems like a good choice. Or did he get some kind of random stuff that he couldn't go up there? That's possible. That really sucks if that's the case. That really sucks, because he left him very exposed there, and he should be able to get up. Sometimes, you know, the weird angles, like if there's someone standing on a climb up point, you actually can climb up and you get -1 red pill attack for the cost, so you get a little bit cheaper. But if that unit is engaged, it will say that the climbing point is blocked. And sometimes though, in very weird circumstances, the game can't move the character up there, and then you can't go up. So that also sucks. 35 seconds, you need to do something with your high damage unit here. Yeah, that's not good. And of course he hit. And 56% hit chance. Yeah, this is you know, he has 2 axes. He's made to fight zombies and other low melee resistance guys, and he faced the only slightly melee resistant guy in Markuskein's warband. It's a really bad matchup, and he should probably have supported some other units instead. Especially since he's actually letting him attack. What is up with that? You know that it's gonna be Markuskein's turn soon, that he's gonna get... Okay, so he has attracting lure. Good, but why did he exchange so many blows there? He just took damage for free. I think he's gonna be focused now. I don't think Hullpoker is playing at his best here. And I'm trying not to be biased. I know I went up on a limb saying I think to surprise people, but I think he has not really done very good here. He even used exhaustion slightly before running out of time. A lot of mistakes here from Hullpoker, and it's really starting to cost him the game. You know that that mutant is gonna die. You know that that Doomweaver is gonna get a lot of focus fire on him so that he's halted. And I don't think Markuskein will take too much damage, especially since he seems to have quite a bit of luck to the attacks to avoiding the high damage things here. That's 2 attacks. If you use Adrenaline Rush, you can use attracting lure, but he doesn't seem to have it. Or it doesn't seem to be available. Maybe it is for this character. Yeah, Lorcan has it. This is a good combo. Zombies have the worst leadership in the game, so they are always going to lose to something like this. Will he follow after that zombie? He might. If he uses Adrenaline Rush, he can get another attracting lure on. Yeah, he's gonna do exactly that. And then he's gonna kill that zombie. Because I don't think he'll manage that, will he? No. Very good choice. Very good choice. It's really dangerous when you do it. You get 3 attacks, it's almost like a hero. But yeah, attracting lure is buggy and you need to get right thing for it. At least he's evening out the score here. 2 henchmen has died for Hullpoker so far. And 1 henchman has now died for Markuskein, a zombie, so it doesn't do morale anything. In addition to that, Markuskein's necromancy is a little bit damaged from 2 Adrenaline Rush, but he has healed himself up a little bit too. While Hullpoker has put a tiny little bit of damage also on the Vampire Leader, but he's taking far more damage in return on this mutant. And I don't think that was very valuable for him. It's nice mix. You really need that warp guard to tie something up, especially to protect your little mutant there. If you can get him into the leader, that would be nice. Just get him into something. He's too undecisive. You remember that he left the warp guard on ambush early on? Could have used that warp guard to trigger some units instead of having the mutant face an ambush attack. But it's always easy to say when you are watching a game like this. It's much more difficult to play it. You always have these great ideas of and you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but when you're actually playing this, it's much more difficult. Not too great hit chance here, but he's at least tying up this zombie. But since it is a tank, that warp guard are very attack doesn't deal too much damage, as you can see. Markuskein can select to flee. Oh, it's not a warp guard. It's actually a black Skaven. Sorry about that. Sneaky little archer you got there. Yeah, it is. Remember that it was the mutant who took the stun, right? No, it was the Doomweaver. No, wait. No, it was the mutant. I think it was the mutant. So he has open wounds, so he hits even less. So remember, if he hadn't got the open wound, he would have hit on the first attack against Markuskein's vampire, producing another 70 damage, which would have helped a lot. Because you don't get too much healing on undead units unless it's a necromancer. Ah! That's a waste of an order. He should have used some other spells. Why is he using too much? Maybe he doesn't have too many spells or channeling, but order for 31 damage? Yeah, that's not worth it. That's really not worth it. Why did he use Attracting Lure on the last attack? Then he could have gotten in with order and produce even more damage on Markuskein as leader instead. It's obvious that he wants one of his high damage units to be in melee, and since both of his Dark Souls with double axes of perforation, we assume, and the mutant with double axes or amputation, we didn't actually see that, or I didn't pay attention. He wants one of those units to be in melee and produce order attacks. You really need to stay away now, because you're going to get a zombie after you. That's pretty much guaranteed here. Will you try for a Warp Lightning or something like that? A Shrouding Mist. Good choice actually. Reduces the melee resistance so that he has virtually no melee resistance left. And also giving plus 50% ranged resistance to everyone there. Reducing the effect that the Dreg will have on the battlefield. They can even see the battlefield there. 7 seconds left, and here we see the buffed up unit of Markuskein, the vampire leader. As you can see, he only managed to bypass a single unit from Holpoke, and yeah, maybe that spell was worth bypassing the Clubidier, who knows. Lori said it's gonna take 30 damage. Lorcan here. Lorcan seems to be a dangerous henchman. Okay, it's gonna produce a little bit of damage on this very dangerous Dark Soul. And remember that the vampire leader here, he did actually lose an attracting lure to the mutant. And I think that Holbrook will be pretty pleased actually with this faction, depending on the mutant actually surviving until the next turn, so he can produce even more damage, especially with order. That's really good for him, missing an attack. Not really expected. 2 more damage. Yeah, Lorcan might survive this. I think Lorcan is staying a little bit within the magic resistance field. Yeah, he is. So he's not gonna get too much focus fire from the Necromancer unless they are crazy and want to gamble. Web of Steel mastered. Not gonna do anything if he's attracting lured here, so and he realizes that, so he's focusing on healing instead. Because he knows he will get attracting lure on that character. What will the Globadier do? I think it's good that you leave this place. Just ignore the zombie on the top left. That takes down 60 morale, who cares? It's not gonna be a useful zombie. It's like we've already killed that zombie. And remember that zombie has 5 movement now, so it's not gonna move very fast either. If you even want to move towards the battle, it's gonna take a long time. I think that's wasn't a good choice of Markuskein, but were we to complain, he seems to be winning this game anyway. So far at least. But he can't turn it around. He just needs real damage. Real damage needs to come from Warwalker. And it's the entirety of Markuskein's warband here, so we'll see how much he has left after this imminent battle. Try not to leave the Globader exposed, I think, because he knows that there will be zombies going after him. In that case, what is his warp guard in the ambush stance going to be good for? What is he going to be good for up there? Is someone going to sneak around this woman? I don't think so. I actually don't know if you hear this, but I'm getting a Steam and Discord messages while we record this. I hope that doesn't interfere too much with the broadcast. In case you're wondering what the bleeping sounds are. If they can indeed be heard, I don't know. Gargaros seems to be in bad shape, but at least he is in Shrouding Mist. And that seems to be paying off really. Ah, no, he's not. Wow. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was reading that wrong for a second here. It's gonna take a lot of damage now. Yeah, this character, he's not gonna live. I think he's gonna use Adrenaline Rush to get even more shots off. And as you can see, he has a lot of blue pills left. 12 wounds left as just a single attack, and yeah, he's gonna go for a Adrenaline Rush. It's Markuskein. He's definitely gonna go for that. Don't cast it on that zombie. It's not gonna be any use to you. He's in the anti-magic field. It's not gonna do anything. If that, because that is the, or it is the zombie that is right outside of it. Okay, Dolores said it's definitely inside of it. Don't twist on him. Don't twist on him. Don't twist on him. Fine. Waste the spell. Hope the Chaos got cursed for that choice. It did not. Damage from Adrenaline Rush. I should go and kill the mutant here. It seems to be very high damage. I don't know what the deal is with the Black Skaven doing 30 damage. I think he's meant to be a tank. And if he is meant to be a tank and holding up dangerous targets, why then did the Black Skaven go into a zombie? And more to the point, the only zombie that actually had Call of Battle up on him and great armor. It really doesn't seem like a good choice. Should have gone for the vampire leader or something in that case. He's not forgetting about the mutant, I hope. He has 12 HP left. Oh, but the mutant, didn't he use Adrenaline Rush? I actually don't recall now. He might have. Markuskein check for that. He will just try and spell anyway. The dangerous thing is that the Dark Souls can still do a lot of damage with order, but yeah, he needs to produce kills that matter. And his main chance of doing that is with the Dark Souls against the leader, or the Dark Soul, because the other Dark Soul is way back. I bet that Globader wants to get close to the Necromancer, and he actually has a chance now, because If the ghoul moves up into combat, you can actually get Strangling Lure on both of the Necromancer. Producing a lot of damage here. He's really finding the small tiny little spots here where those clouds are not in effect. And he's now stunned. That's terrible for Holpoker, and he's gonna use Adrenaline Rush and probably kill off that character because he gets a plus hit chance, so he's gonna die. Damage. Yeah, he's gonna go for the there. It's a good choice. I don't really like Mighty Charge. I think it doesn't do enough, especially in entrenchments like that. I think this is good because if the Globadier has a Strangling Globe, which is probably likely, otherwise he wouldn't feel it against the head. Like you don't go in. Into Undead with Poison Globadier. So he probably has Strangling, but he wants to get close to the Necromancers if he can, and doing it like that means he's gonna use a blue pill to flee or 2 blue pills to disengage, so that means he probably won't be able to reach Necromancers even if he has exhaustion. Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know if he has exhaustion. He might or he might not. Holpoker doesn't have too many units left to do any kind of important choices here, and the zombies moving into support. Yeah, why not fight? See what you can do. The Doom will probably put down another Idol of Change. Ah, well, there's only one zombie. Right? Yeah. Disengage and you're losing the movement now. Yeah. But you can still reach him, right? Yeah, you can. Just barely. Fester's taking a... It's interesting to see how much leadership he has. Will he pass the all alone text here? If he's gonna use... he's pretty wounded. He doesn't want to use the Adrenaline Rush. It's not gonna do too much. He just wants to produce the all alone test there. And here comes the ghoul. The ghoul is... yeah, this Markuskein doesn't really understand what's happening there, it seems. And that was always a gamble of what he was gonna do. It's not the mist, it's the Idol of Change through the cloud. Let's see, can he get a lucky hit here? 39%. Yeah, he's going for the Globadier as well. There is a sorcerer somewhere here too. Wow, that's a really good damage spread and a lot of damage. Yeah, following by Adrenaline Rush and another high damage attack is gonna almost finish that Cloverdale off. If I'm gonna, it seems like Holpoker is gonna lose this match. And what kind of mistakes did Holpoker do, and what did Markuskein do? Well, of course the starting thing here with exposing our henchman far away from the rest of the team wasn't that good, but we have to second guess why Holpoker has been separating his team. You notice that there was some units that have moved down, and other units were pretty far away still. We saw that, and he did have a whole ton on them to move from his wagon, and he barely moved like 1 or 2 pills. That's just not good enough. So he was cautious and daring at the same time, and daring with a few units. And that's a little bit like how the AI plays. So I think Holpoker probably, he had the right idea and he had a good composition for this, but he seemed to be using his composition entirely in the wrong way. Like, he has the tanky black Skaven there, and he needs to move that unit into something that's really dangerous, like the leader. And he could have done that. Instead, he moved him into a zombie, and the only zombie that actually had some kind of defense on him. So that was a poor choice. And then he used order on that instead of using spells on the sorcerer.
A new round has started.
But instead he opted for order, doing 31 damage each time. Very inefficient use of that sorcerer. So in that light, in comparison, it seems like alright, let's see here. Let's pause for a bit in dissecting what Holpoker is doing. I do think Holpoker is doing well when he's trying to combine high damage units and using attracting lure. And I wish he had matched up his units a little bit more towards what they are good at against units they would excel towards. He is pondering what can he reach. Can he actually reach the drake? He might do that. Or does he realize he have too little movement to do that? Okay, he realizes he has too little movement. He won't be able to get up and move probably, so he doesn't want to go up there. He's gonna get the leader stuck in. He has to be careful because he knows that from that position the drake will come out and shoot again. So it's not a good idea to attack the leader. So what we're gonna do? We'll attack the leader anyway. Okay. If he has a single blue pill now, he can probably get the drake. And I don't think the drake is engaged. Okay, so yeah, that was why he didn't want to do that option. At least he's blocking the path for the drake, if nothing else. The drake can probably move back a little bit and shoot through the window there. At least he's trying to go for keeping the damage down on these units. So what's gonna happen here? The firebomb is not a magic effect, I think, so be careful with another item change. Delay, alright. Did you look at the 3 there? Yeah, he did, so he has 3 more units. It's important when you use delay, you don't let your opponent move in between. And here we go. Dark Soul is a good counter to this. He only has a single parry stance. Will he use attracting lure? I don't think so. He might go for a straight attack. He did. Was pretty lucky to go through that parry, but it was good for him. And then attracting lure, and then he's gonna follow up with another attracting lure. You have seen this before. He did the exact same thing. And it's I actually hope that he doesn't go into another attracting. He needs to be in combat with that guy so that he can produce order. And he really messed up there. He should have used just another attack. He really shouldn't have done that. Now he has this unit who is this high damage unit who is not in combat again. And it's the same mistakes over and over again. And I guess that's how it is to be a new player here. Is he moving in with yeah, he is. At least he survived the terror test, but this guy doesn't do enough damage. That's his problem. Or maybe he can up the damage? I don't know. No, 27. No, that's not gonna do it. Even if you order that guy, you're not gonna kill him. You really wanted the Dark Soul to stay there. You should have used just another second attack instead of liking attracting lure too much that you couldn't reach your opponent. That was not a good decision. Killing the leader could have at least like giving him a tiny little bit of hope. And remember, he does have a lot of morale, so if he wants to, and if he could survive the Globadier, he could probably just move away, shoot, and yeah, zombies have 9 movement, but with knowledge Mordheim, but still. Could have been an effort, at least try. Is he going into a stance now or something? Yeah, if you're gonna order the Black Skaven again, I think that I am a little bit disappointed in the choices here. It all comes down to experience. Alright, so there are some of the Holcopper's faults clearly visible here. What about Markuskein then? How well has he performed? Obviously he's winning this fight, and probably this group. Has he played well? Has he done any mistakes? I think so. I think he was a little bit lucky with the Drake not being able to reach by the mutant. It could have been a whole different game if he jumped up there, and usually you can actually do that. But it was not to come to play. And still, Markuskein is trying to serve his warband, and he's playing it to the strengths of Undead warband. Sacrificial zombies acting as meat shields for his more squishy characters, and his Swordwalker is not even targeting the squishy characters to place into his game plan. Alright, can he use another order? He might actually kill this guy then. He's gonna disengage with the Doomweaver. And then go and kill that leader. I hope he does that. Almost dead, but remember that the Globadier there, he fails all alone test, he's gonna die. He's gonna face 3 attacks. If he has space left, that's all. He seems to have space left, but you never know with him. So what is he doing now? If he's smart now, if he has any kind of map awareness, he's gonna disengage and go for the leader. Kill off the leader. Or you won't actually kill any units more in this game. So that's your chance now. What are you gonna do? He's thinking, but he doesn't have too much time left on him. 40 seconds now. I hope he doesn't stay and do 30 damage to the vampire, but I actually suspect that's exactly. So Markuskein, how well has he played? I think he's done pretty well. He's playing to the strengths of the Undead warband. He's hiding everything behind, and the squishy targets aren't reached because Holcopper doesn't have any kind of range with any kind of power to it. So he is facing the direction towards the leader. Can actually target him with a spell. defensive spell. Is that what he's doing? 9 seconds left, what he's doing. Why are you doing that? Why are you... I need to get an overload again. A bit unlucky, but... Why is he... Why are you... Oh yeah, you're trying to produce as many curses as possible on the... Alright, but... Yeah, you were unlucky there, you didn't get any kind of curse on him. 9 hit points remaining. Can you imagine if he could have gotten stayed with Dark Souls? Yes, if you hadn't used... Had you gotten greedy and used Attractor, you could have killed him. Been way more efficient with Order. The thing with Order is that it's cost 3 red pills, right? So you want it to be able to do a lot of damage. In this case, he's actually doing 10 damage per red pill, and that's really bad. That's like having a henchman doing 20 damage. It's even worse than his Warpguard's tanks. It's the most inefficient use of the red pills that he actually has. He would have done more damage. I don't know what Markuskein has on him right now, increasing magic resistance and such, but he would have done more damage just casting spells on the vampire with his leader. So why did he do that? I have no idea. But it's something you always have to think about. You see, the Black Skaven is very tanky. You can't even disengage there, you're gonna run away as far as possible. Did you use... No, you didn't use an adrenaline rush, that's good for you. That's really good for you. So now he's gonna survive with the leader too. And that was all of the progress Hullbrookers made. Killed the zombie, almost got the leader, but not quite. And bye bye to that character. No more Fester, no more Globadier. Black Skaven, a sorcerer. He has 1 Dark Soul and 1 Warp Card, right? That's all he has left. Meanwhile, Markuskein has almost the entirety of his Warp Card. Oh yeah, he has a Doom Weaver force as well, yeah. Five units for Hullbroker, 9 units for Markuskein. Yeah, because he's in the mist, right? If it's still there. I should shoot at the tank. Shoot at the tank. Good idea. Too bad about 2 missed shots, but it was a good idea. Keep doing that. If you want to, you can also, you know, use the spells. I think you might do decent damage there since you are a little bit hurt, so you can have healed up a little bit more. But almost all of Hullbroker's damage units are now gone. He only has a single Dark Soul and he can't seem to get that Dark Soul to be in combat to be able to use Order. So. It will be interesting to see what Markuskein can do in the coming matches when it comes into the playoffs. I don't think he will have too much trouble with Tricky Nicky, who is also a Skaven warband, but we will see there. We are probably gonna watch that game as well. Markuskein's warband is it is decent for an undead warband, but it's not the strongest that it could ever be, and I really don't think he will reach a final. I think as soon as he faces one of the high level warbands, it's probably good night for him, but so far so good. Keep doing damage. Use the spells. Good to have. Yeah, and heal up the leader, that's a good choice too. The weakness of Markuskein's Swarmland is that his vampires are trying to tie him, but they don't do too much damage. Then he has very tanky units, all relying on weapon steel. So a Cult of the Possessed Warband, for example, which there are 7 of in this tournament, could easily bypass most of that parry, and they could probably get to his squishy characters. All he has for real proper damage are these 2 Necromancers and the Dreg Archer, and if you can get a strangling blow onto one of those Necromancers, it's gonna really hurt. And he could also, you know, face a Sister Warband that uses whatever, what is it called, the silence spell, one that makes you unable to cast rounds. Seems pretty good. I have it at the tip of my tongue, I guess that. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the name is, but it's very common choice for all kinds of Sister Warbands. Sinful Speech, that's the spell. So if you can nurture these Necromancers, a lot of the power of Markuskein's Warband goes out the window. That's what you have to try and do. Also, if he faces someone that has a little bit more firepower and longer range, that will also serve him pretty well. See, now we can shoot through the window. I was expecting that. But if he doesn't move too far away, he's gonna be reaching. He can't stand on that bridge. That's a stupid spot to stand after shooting, so I hope he doesn't stay there, because then the Warper can get to him and yeah, he's gonna jump out. Good. Because you can't disengage from a bridge like that. You almost never can. Always good for a crit archer to have that particular skill. Always nice to have. Of course, I am talking about both sides, you know, reducing the cost of name. A little damage, exhaustion to get away. Good choice here would be tying up the Dark Sword. Oh yeah, he already has it, of course. Sorry. Yeah, really high, only high damage he has left. I wonder if I got a Discord message here from Hole Poker actually, And he's saying that Markuskein only has 74 morale left. That means that in the Roblox game he should have killed the vampire leader. I wonder if we are seeing a teasing or something. It's a wonder that it's actually. We'll see if Mordheim can actually act. Then it might be something else, but we haven't seen the leader die. We might be watching Markuskein's view of a decent game. In which case Markuskein will think we declared the victory anyway, so. A good choice would go to kill Dark Soul. It's always good to finishing off opponents, even if you know that they're gonna die next time. And you can go around. And no need to use a charge, just there we go. And then use an adrenaline rush and go for a charge. Why aren't you engaged in the black Skaven? Choice as well. It's gonna be all alone check for that Doomweaver, and since he has 100% stun resistance, he probably doesn't have too great of all alone check. Doomweavers can only get 9 leadership, so there is always a weakness. Like if you go for good stun resistance, good curses, then you usually have pretty poor fear, terror, and all alone checks. And if he loses, he's gonna die as well. But we will see. After this attack, it's gonna be Coldwalker's turn, and he's not gonna route from this. So we'll see, and if this is actually a desync in place, it might be. Pretty lucky to hit at least with 2 attacks there. That's cocky. You have 23% chance to hit. You shouldn't do that. Why aren't you using insult? Yeah. Oh, maybe he used
A new
actually,
round has started.
I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention to that. I was looking at the Discord here. You could explain it. Well, at least you can engage with. He's going for the flag, I think. Yeah, he's going for the flag. Well, he does seem to be able to act, and if we told Markuskein the leader died, then wow, route test successful. What's left? The sorcerer leader and a warpod, right? And there's a money shot there for warp lightning. If he has that spell, I don't know. I'm actually unsure now because he's reluctant to use any kind of damage because he doesn't have warp lightning. He might have focused on the support spells, which are not that useful against undead, like. Blessed Filth. Poison doesn't do anything against zombies or vampires. So what's happening? The sorcerer is not that much of a threat in melee, so let's move up there and start hurting. He's 2 years going for the flag. I don't know why he's going for the flag, he's gonna lose anyway. But if in his game, it looks like he killed the leader, but I don't know. I think he just I don't know what he was thinking when he wrote that to me in Discord. Whole book that is he Markuskein only has 74 morale left, and maybe I don't know why he's saying that. I think he clearly has 100 and doesn't seem to have these things. So. He might abandon this, but he has to wait until his own turn to abandon, so yeah, exactly. So just go up there and kill him or something, and then it's game over. 116, it's gonna be over really quick. Just cast 3 spells or something. And there we go, a decisive 8-1 win for Markuskein. Seems like our challenger wasn't really up to the task, and good game by Markuskein.
All mortal flesh must eventually wither and rot.
Updates.
Only those who have transcended such pathetic limitations are fit to rule. One day, the Empire will be ours.
With Tricky Nicky and Markuskein in the winners match, and hopefully we can get full poker against Leadsbach in the losers game, and there is win or go out. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next match.